Shabbat Shalom. How wonderful it is to be here with everyone tonight. Shabbat Shalom to Jules and Ruth and Taco. Shabbat Shalom, Shelly. Shabbat Shalom, Lindsay. It's so wonderful to be here with you tonight and to have you join us. It's so great to see you here. Shabbat Shalom to Stephen and Sharon. Shabbat Shalom, Rich. As we join together on this Shabbat evening coming off of the holiday of Shavuot, the day on which we celebrate annually the receiving of Torah, the receiving of the Ten Commandments, the receiving of some sort of revelation, we imagine, at Mount Sinai. I'm still buzzing from our wonderful night of learning, our wonderful Tikkun Leil Shavuot last night. And we'll begin with a lighting of the Shabbat candles. And as we light these Shabbat candles, I want to invite each person who's here, if you're comfortable, to share in the chat something that you have learned this week, perhaps over the course of this Shavuot. If you attended either our Or Hadash night of study or another night of study, or if you did some learning on your own, as we bring in the light this Shabbat, I want to invite us to amplify that light with the light of our own learning as we share bits of Torah in the chat with one another. Oi, from Shabbat Shalom to Shana. It is of the wonderful to see you here tonight. And Shabbat Shalom, Mom and Dad. And we'll continue as we light the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. And as we bring in the lights of Shabbat, we take a moment to all make sure that we are on the same page. This week, we are thrilled to be able to be davening together out of Kol HaNeshama, Shabbat V'Chagim, the full version of our Siddur, no longer in our prayer packet, as the Department of Thriving Communities at Reconstructing Judaism has finished digitizing the full Siddur, and I'm going to put in the chat the link to that full Siddur if you do not have one at home. The URL is http://tiny.cc/KN Shabbat. And here it is clickable in the chat. And we'll begin our service tonight with Or Zarua on page 31. Or Zarua latzadik uleishrei lev simcha simcha yananai. Or Zarua latzadik uleishrei lev simcha simcha yananai yananai Or Zarua latzadik uleishrei lev simcha simcha simcha. Or Zarua latzadik Uli Yisrael lev simcha simcha, or zarua latzadik latzadik. Uli Yisrael lev simcha simcha, yanai nai nai, yanai nai yanai nai nai, yavanai nai, yanai nai yanai nai 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 nai, yanai nai yanai nai, yavanai nai, yanai nai yanai nai nai nai, yai or zarua latzadik. Ulehi shelev simcha, 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 or zarua latzadik. Ulehi shelev simcha, simcha. Page 37, Mizmor LeDavid, Psalm 29, and we rise in spirit or in body as we are able. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai, Kavod v'hozai, Havul Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai, b'chadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover harazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayarkitem k'mo egel Lebanon, Besirion, Kemo ven re'emim, Kol Adonai chotzev v'havotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai cholel hayadot, Vayechesov Yeharot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lama V'yashav Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Os Le'am Yitain, Adonai Yevarech Adamu V'Shalom. Yai, 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 nai, nai. Yai, 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 yai. Yai, nai, yai, yai, nai, nai. Yai, nai, yai, yai, yai. Shabbat Shalom and Shabbat Shalom to Wendy and John and Lucy and to Deb Harris and family as we turn to page 41 for Lecha Dodi, this moment where we greet the Shabbat bride, this moment that is the pinnacle of Kabbalat Shabbat, the service for welcoming Shabbat. We take a moment to do a little Kabbalat Panim, to welcome one another's faces. I want to invite you, if you haven't done so yet in the chat, to share your name and where it is that you are joining us from this evening, so that we can look around this room that is so much bigger than our dining rooms and our living rooms and our dens, so much bigger than our back porches and decks. A room that stretches from the suburbs of Philadelphia to Texas to North Carolina to Washington, D.C., and everywhere in between. A community gathered to welcome in Shabbat. And so, as we take a second to notice who else is here today, looking in our chat for names and faces familiar and new, we turn to page 41 for Lecha Dodi. And again, if you don't have our Sidur Kol Haneshama, it can be found in online in full at this link right here. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad yishmi'anu, el ha'meuchad Adonai echad, hu shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litzchila. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nei el-chakim mekor haberacha mirosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Page 45 at the top. Hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat. Top of page 47. Yamin u'smol tifrot zivi et Adonai ta'aritzi al yadish ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance of our homes as we greet the Shabbat bride. Bo'i v'shalom ateret balagam besimcha u'v'tzochola tochem unei am segula. Bo'i chala lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat gala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Page 49, a psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir le'yom haShabbat tov lehodot l'Adonai. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to give thanks to the Eternal. And perhaps the connection between these two things, a psalm for Shabbat and giving thanks, is the gratitude that we greet this day of rest with. After a week of running, after a week of stressing, after a week of being nervous about social interactions and shopping and going to work and our impact on others as they return to work, as we enter this oasis, this palace in time, as Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel described Shabbat, this oasis of 25 hours of rest, we exhale and we're able to express our gratitude. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. It is good to give thanks to the Eternal. Our gratitude for being able to release that stress, that anxiety, and to be in that place where we can dwell in safety and in calm as we enter into Shabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir le'yom haShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir le'yom haShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, shir, shir le'yom haShabbat. zamer l'shimcha elyon hagi baboker chasecha. Page 51 at the asterisk. Tzadik katamar yifrach kerez balevanon yizkesh etulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim vera'ananim yehiyu lehagid yashar Adonai suri velo Shabbat Shalom. As we make the transition from Kabbalat Shabbat to Ma'ariv, we welcome Amy and Robert, who have joined us since the last time we checked in to say Shabbat Shalom. And we turn to page 57, and we rise as we are able for Baruchu, as we bless the source of life. So we are blessed. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. And the blessing gives us strength and makes our vision clear. And the blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. We can be seated. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro marivarim. Creator of day and night, who rolls back light before the dark, dark before the light, who makes day pass away and bring on night, dividing between day and night. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv ha'aravim. Page 61, we read together in the English. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled, ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. Me'avatecha lo tasur mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 65, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, והיה אם שמוע תשמעו על מצוותיי. Continue silently with one of the two biblical passages that follows. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Below the line on page 78, there's a kavanah, an intention from Rabbi Rami Shapiro that I think here as we sit here on the Shabbat that comes out of the holiday of Shavuot, the festival of Matan Toratenu, of receiving Torah, we perhaps feel its resonance more now than at other times in our year. This moment of standing at the foot of Sinai, this moment of hearing the chanting of the Ten Commandments following an evening of study, we find ourselves standing in the footprints of our ancestors, on the shoulders of giants, as a link in a chain that stretches back and back and back from this place where we stand all the way back through our mythic past, our mystical memory to that moment where we all stood at Sinai. And indeed, we all stood at Sinai. Whether we have been Jewish our whole lives, whether we've been Jewish for 2 months, whether we are born of Jewish ancestors, whether we are not, it is taught that each soul of each person who would ever be part of Klal Yisrael, who would ever wander amongst this mixed multitude of a people, stood at Sinai, past, present, and future. And so we read together below the line on page 78 and notice the miraculous link that binds us each to one another across time, across space, across geography, and across experiences. When our ancestors beheld these truths, they proclaimed, "Among all the gods we can name, who can compare to the one beyond naming? Among all the quantities we can label, number, mark, and measure, which compares to the mystery at the heart of reality?" Yai bye bye bim bidi bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai bye bye bidi bidi bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai dai 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 dai, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai dai 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 dai, yabba bye bye bim bum. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar bakodesh. No ratilot osefele, no ratilot osefele, malechutecha rauvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeheli hanu vehameru, Adonai himloch leolam vahed. Yai dai dai bidi bidi bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai bye bye bidi bidi bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai dai Hanandai Dai Yabba Bye Bye Bim Bam Yai Dai Hanandai Dai Yabba Bye Bye Venemar Kivada Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo Miad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Ata Adonai Ka Yisrael. Page 81. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'amidenu Malkeinu leChaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shalomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shalomecha. Oh, spread over us the shelter of your peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Ushmor tzeitenu v'oinu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'al Yerushalayim. When we rise as we are able, in body or in spirit, for V'shamru on page 85, welcoming in Shabbat. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. איי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. We remain standing on page 91 as we begin the Amidah, standing silently, reciting silently, davening silently in the evening. So I invite you to continue with either the words in the book, in Hebrew or in English, the commentary below the line, perhaps the meditations, including the Shviti, the visual meditation on page 89, the guided meditations that follow, or just the prayers of your hearts, those prayers that no Siddur committee could ever know, because they are written inside of each of us and emerge as we enter into this silence. Adonai sifatai tiftach uvi agid tehilatecha. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. As we emerge from our silent prayer, our silent reflections and gratitudes for this Shabbat, we turn to the modality of searching for healing. Our Mishaberach Lecholim is a prayer that evokes all of the forces of the universe, that petitions the Holy One for strength and for healing, but it's also a prayer that sets our own intention, our intention to care for one another as we support one another through our quest for the healing of body, the healing of spirit, our quest to support all of those who work to heal others. And so I want to, as we prepare for our Mishaberach Lecholim, our prayer for healing, if there's someone that you're thinking of tonight who is in need of some healing, to share their name in the chat. And between the two verses of our prayer and song, we are going to read the list of names that I have, as well as the names that are written in the chat, so that we can together call all of those to mind who are in need of healing in our community and in our concentric circles of community. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. And this week at Or Hadash, we are thinking of, especially in sending our hopes for healing, to Roberta Archibald, Arden Bell, Jillian Eve Bach, Rabbi Deborah Bowen, Sarah Sarulnik, Bill Conrad, Robin Kupo, Francesca Dever, Eric Gershman, Jonathan Giannini, George Glansberg, Gail Glansberg, Hal Goodman, Amy Gross, Sheila Guthrie, Alberta Hall, Cordula Hamish, Chava Hurley, Michelle Kalish, Sharon Cass, Fran Kaufman, Elsie Lieberstein, Len McEwen, Robert Mueller, William Mueller, Carol Ann Mueller-Bell, Anthony Nero, Lisa Nicholson, Mike Oswald, Stan Pollock, Abby Rosenberg, Mike Rosenberg, Shelley Sanders, Willie Schneer, Bertha Schwartz, Tricia Slater, Margaret Stiver, Ellen Stewerman, Lloyd Suter, Lynn Van Engel, Isabel Vita, Stan Weckstein, Millie Weissman, Grace Zangwill, Eileen Zeff, and Eric Griffin Shelley, Mima, Doug Proudman, Sue Courtwright, Anne Lefko, Dorothy, and all of those who are in need of healing during this time in our world. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. a complete healing of body, of spirit, and of soul, and strength to those who care for them. Now we turn to Kiddush on page 19, and we rise in spirit or in body as we raise our glasses on this Shabbat. Savri Chavirai, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaram lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki eleinu karata ve'otanu kidashta la'avodatecha ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim. And we remain standing in spirit or in body for Aleinu on page 121. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula le'otzer breshit, shenatan lanu torat emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yoseh haaretz u'moshe. When senseless hatred reigns on earth and people hide their faces from one another, then heaven is forced to hide its face. But when love comes to rule the world and people reveal their faces to one another, then the splendor of God will be revealed. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom ha'u yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We can be seated. And as we turn in our Sidurim to page 131 for Mourner's Kaddish, we also turn in our hearts and in our memories to those whom we've loved and lost in recent days, in recent weeks, and also at this time in years past. It is with sadness that I announce the passing earlier today of Linda Krieger, who was not a member of our congregation, but was a Musar instructor and friend to many in our Or Hadash community. Her funeral will be this Sunday, and I will share details as I am able. I think that arrangements are still being made, both for the funeral itself and for how folks may digitally be present, both at the funeral and at Shiva throughout the week, for Jake and his family to know that we are all thinking of them and being with them at this time. And we also note that we are in a period of Shloshim, the month following the passing of Donald Bernard Wolf, father of Carolyn Savitsky, father-in-law of Marty and grandfather of Robin. Shiva has concluded for Donald, though we are still in the week following his passing. Shiva sort of runs into Shavuot and then stops abruptly there. And so we send all of our love to Carolyn and Marty and Robin and their family. And we're also still in a period of Shloshim, the month following the passing of Bernie Love, uncle of Scott Love, and Steffi, great uncle of Kate and Anna Love. And that we are also marking the Yortzites this week of Yetta Cohen, mother of Jay Cohen, Paul Lewis, husband of Sandy Lewis, Jerome Seicherman, father of Sue Rosenthal, Harry Ackerman, father of Bonnie Ritterman, Muriel Orenstein, mother of Harry Orenstein, Louis Alessio, father of Marianne Alessio Adler, Esther Axelrod, grandmother of Mike Roden, Bill Davis, brother of Rich Davis, and Dina Kramer, the sister-in-law of Debbie Levin. And if there are others who are in mourning or observing a Yortzeit, I want to invite you to share the names of those whom you are remembering in the chat so that we can all bring them to mind this evening. Linda Krieger, of course, George Floyd, and others who have been murdered in our country by the police or while in police custody. Ken Rosenberg, the secular date of his death will be this Sunday, marking 1 year. Morris Lieberman. Mourners and those observing a Yortzeit, I want to, Joel Slutz, brother of Beverly Citrin, brother-in-law of Bob Citrin, and Larry Kramer. Mourners and those who are observing a Yortzeit, I want to invite you to rise in spirit or in body as you are able for Mourners Kaddish on page 131, along with all of those whose tradition it is to rise for Kaddish. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash Shemeh Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dachol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemeh dekudsha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush v'chata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. And we can be seated. Shabbat shalom. And before we conclude our service together with Hamotzi, I want to make a couple of announcements, share a couple of messages. First, that it is so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you all for joining us from all of your homes. It is such a joy each week for Rebecca and I to welcome you into our home each Shabbat. Hi, everybody.
I didn't know you were going to turn the camera.
I know. Well, Bina's asleep this week, so I thought that I would give everyone a cameo who is still awake. Shabbat shalom from our home into your home. It's such a pleasure to be able to join with all of you. Tomorrow morning we continue our celebration of Shabbat with Torah study at 9 a.m. and services at 10. Those are both via Zoom, and the link can be found either in HaKesher, our synagogue newsletter, or on our website, orhadash.com. And tomorrow's service, because we don't actually observe 2 days of Shavuot at Or Hadash, but also we don't have festival morning services, we are splitting the difference tomorrow as it's second day of Shavuot somewhere. And we will be having a fairly typical Shabbat service, but reading the Torah reading for the second day of Shavuot, and also there will be an abbreviated Yisker for those who would like to come and say Yisker. I would guess that Yisker will be at around 11:15 or 11:30. If you arrive by 11:15, you will not miss Yisker. The service begins at 10, and again, Torah study is at 9 via Zoom. A couple of upcoming events. This next Shabbat will be our three-part harmony, which means our Tat Shabbat service, a community candle lighting and l'chaim. Tat Shabbat starts at 6 p.m. It's earlier on these first Fridays. Community candle lighting and l'chaim over Zoom at 6:30. And around 6:45, is that right? Yes, around 6:45, our family service will begin here on YouTube. So our service next week will be earlier, 6 o'clock Tat Shabbat, 6:30 Community L'chaim, and 6:45 service. Later that weekend, Sunday the 7th, we will be celebrating Adir Waxman's bar mitzvah. Details came out in your emails last week or a week and a half ago from Rabbi Josh and from Amy for how we can celebrate with Rabbi Josh and Amy and Adir and Yael and Svi as they all celebrate Adir becoming bar mitzvah. The Sunday after that, the 14th, is our community summer sing-along and kumsitz live from your own backyard. Bring your own fire pit. And Torah school families, I hear that Maura Barbara, our education director, will be delivering a sweet treat to all of your homes. It'll be a wonderful backyard sing-along for all ages with Amy Jo Rosenthal on guitar. And then also, I believe, on Thursday, the 11th of June, there is a Holocaust Memorial film screening sponsored by Or Hadash and several other synagogues in our area. And that film will feature part of the story and the testimony of Bertha Schwartz, who joined us for our Yom HaShoah program. So that is also not to miss. Details are on our website. And lastly, on Saturday night, July 11th, we are thrilled to invite everyone to, over Zoom, Havdalah and an author reading featuring Marge Piercy, one of, I think, for me at least, one of the greatest living poets of our time, and some joke and say she is the poet laureate of our Siddur. So Marge Piercy will be joining us for an author talk and reading and Havdalah on Saturday night, the 11th of July. And we conclude our service together with Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. From our to your home. See you all tomorrow morning or next Shabbat here on YouTube Live, or anywhere where our paths cross, and Or Hadash out in the world virtually. Shabbat Shalom.